It's October 19th, 2014, and we want to know, will Man-Bat Chat dwarf all other video conferencing packages beneath its leathery wings?
Has Stormwatch finally installed Independence Day antivirus technology onto the carrier?
All this and more is coming up next. It's Season 2, Ep 3 of DCR.
This day, we rescue a world from mysticism and tyranny, and usher in a future brighter than anything we can imagine.
Look! Up in the sky! It's a bird!
It's a plane!
It's Distress Citizens Radio.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the DCR, the podcast that tries to keep you up to date on everything that's happening in DC Comics in real time. Real time. I, of course, remain your host, Sean Lamont, comic book reader extraordinaire, and all of me is here for the last time that you will hear me. This is the day before my oral surgery, but I am joined, still as always, the eminence of comics, the Punmeister General, the man who hates me this evening because it's Wednesday and we just got our books, and I was like, hey, how do you feel about recording tonight with all of your massive note-taking? Mr. Brian Glein. How's it going?
Oh, come on. I'm feeling good on a Wednesday.
You're feeling... Oh, Jesus.
Keeping it timely.
But to keep a balance, since we're trying to be a little energetic here because we don't have much in the way of material due to the timing, to keep that balance going, we also have brought back someone that, if you have just started in Season 2, you have not been introduced yet. It is my beloved, our resident Red Lantern, the Mikey of comics, the lovely Miss Beth. Hello, Beth. How are you?
No, Mikey of comics, wouldn't it be, hey, Mikey, he likes it?
Well, yeah, but isn't the whole reason that they say that is because he hates everything?
Maybe. I don't know.
And there's like one thing that he finds that he likes?
But, Sean.
What?
Sean, guess what day it is?
What?
I can't do it.
Oh, thank God, because I just figured out where you were going. Just as a spoiler, it was hump day. So I probably should have said that after the fact, because guess what we're going to do now? Spoiler warning. To bring you all of the facts and keep you up to date with what has been going on in DC Comics, we do have to go over the plot beats, storylines, character developments, etc., etc. And if you do not want those spoiled, you should not listen ahead. I'm trying to think how's the best way to phrase this. We are woefully unprepared this week.
It's going to be awesome.
Woefully unprepared.
I'm going to follow it just as I always do.
Yeah, I know. Due to the fact that I am going in Thursday morning for oral surgery, I figured I would not be in a good place to actually record the show, so I'm trying to fit it in on the Wednesday night that the comics were released. Brian and I just got our books and swapped them real quick and tried to read stuff and make quick notes. We have like maybe 30 minutes between the two of us of reading and note-taking.
I only took notes on one book, Sean.
So please bear with us.
4 sentences. It's awesome.
It was this or no episode this week, so we were trying to find some sort of sacrifice or some sort of method to get an episode out.
Yeah, we sacrificed.
We are sacrificing. It's a hard evening for us. So bear with us. Be kind. Be gentle, internets.
Good thing we just relaunched it for new listeners.
I know. Yeah, I know. This was supposed to be done last month, but we just couldn't get it in the books. My bad. Sorry. Before we move on into the books, though, we are going to skip listener questions. The movies for DC have been released. They're scheduled for the next 5 years.
Really?
Yeah, of everything they're going to release. I don't want to get into it this episode because we do not have the time to really dig into it. So we will be talking about that next week on the show. Just want to at least acknowledge, if you want to know what movies are coming out what year over the next 5 years, there's a lot of them. There's like 10 of them on the list.
Huh.
Feel free to go look it up. It's a very intriguing list. I will say that much. We started to see the aftermath of that announcement today in one of the comic books. 2 of the comic books.
Oh.
The new Cyborg design. With the Gear C on his chest.
Oh, he's had that for a while.
Oh, is it really?
He's been on the toys and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's the...
They've been trying to get the Cyborg emblem out there for quite some time now.
Gotcha. See how much I pay attention? Mm-hmm. See how awesome I am? So without any further ado, let's just jump forward into this week's books. All right, we're going to start it off nice and easy. I figured what better place to start to bring people up to speed. Earth 2 World's End number 2, our third weekly that has been added to the pile. Beth, you remember the premise of Earth 2, correct?
Sure.
The alternate dimension?
Sure.
The other Earth that's kind of like ours but slightly different?
Sure.
Are you just going to say sure to everything I say?
No.
Oh, the low-hanging fruit was there and you just didn't take it. But in this one, we are kind of dealing with the destruction of Earth 2 as it's being torn apart by Apocalypse and Darkseid and all of his troops because they want to make Earth 2 the new Apocalypse, the new fiery home of Darkseid and his evil troop of bandits.
That sounds like a perfect vacation spot.
It is, actually. So who we are following in this title? All Earth 2 characters. Val-Zod, the Superman of Earth 2, kind of a adopted brother to Superman on Earth 2. Batman, but in this case it's Thomas Wayne, Batman's dad, because on Earth 2, the dad survived and then he ended up taking drugs to gain super strength and blah, 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 blah. So his son's dead now, dad is now Batman. Green Lantern, the green-powered one. Red Tornado, who is Lois Lane in a robot body. And Power Girl and Huntress, who have come back over to Earth 2 after World's Finest ended with a bang.
Wait, is this the same Red Tornado?
The same Red Tornado. Yes, it is the same Red Tornado that you did not quite understand why she was a threat. And her name was Red Tornado. You took it to a dark place.
That's a deep cut for long-time listeners.
Yes, it is. But these people are fighting the new Fury / Horseman of Apocalypse that has come through the fire pits on Earth 2. And it's a little person by the name of Kaylee, K''Li. And she is the Horseman of War. And she is basically going to fight them off. And let me just spoiler here, the fight does not go well for the Wonders. Unfortunately, since there's all these people here and there are 3 other horsemen out there, some people kind of split off. Green Lantern sent off to Brazil. Aquawoman dives underwater to go protect Atlantis from another one. And Hawkgirl and Dr. Fate go after the third. They do mention, though, that there is the Elemental Parliament of Earth 2. And we see the wind, earth, water, kind of like Swamp Thing and his Parliament of Trees type people. But it is the Parliament of Elements, it seems, on Earth 2. It's kind of interesting. I was intrigued by it.
Captain Planet team?
It is, except no heart.
Oh.
No heart.
Oh,
Poor Mati. Meanwhile, Mr. Miracle, surprise of all surprises, escapes from the capture from Bedlam. Mm-hmm. Didn't see it coming. I really didn't. Unfortunately, he does it after Bedlam has activated the beacon to Apocalypse. But he and both Mr. Terrifics end up taking down Bedlam for good, trapping him in Sloane's mind and then beating him up there. It's actually kind of cool. Unfortunately, the World Army notices something big heading their way after this beacon goes off, and it is Apocalypse itself. Since they couldn't open the boom tube and send Earth 2 to Apocalypse, they, I guess, turned on the outboard motor of Apocalypse and are just kind of putting across the galaxy over to Earth 2. And they're going to be there in 28 days. 28 days later, Apocalypse is going to hit Earth 2. Mm-hmm. So we now are working on a timer for this weekly as it counts down.
Rage-infested monkeys?
Rage-infested monkeys. They're everywhere. And the crows. Gotta watch out for them crows. On Apocalypse, though, the Court of Apocalypse, it seems like it has a bunch of noblemen there. And it's not the New Gods type Darkseid lackeys that I'm used to. It's a bunch of weird characters. They're all arguing because Darkseid is still in a sleep coma, trying to fix himself up after his last time that he showed up and got beat up. And they think this move is too brash. But the issue ends with Kaylee, whatever we want to call her, slashing Huntress, Power Girl, and Red Tornado and snaring them under her sway. And they are now Furies of Darkseid themselves, and they beat up and take down Val-Zod and Batman.
Well, good for them. Nice to see them doing something.
Yeah, see? It's more than they did in World's Finest.
Yep. Taken control by a villain.
So Earth 2, I think, is the Apocalypse title of all of the New 52 stuff.
What gave you that idea?
It had
the
what?
The fact that you said Apocalypse 15 times.
Well, no, not like Apocalypse, not the planet Apocalypse. I'm talking like Apocalypse Now Apocalypse. They're on a boat. They're going down a river.
The game is in fact over.
It is in fact over. Man. Yeah. But no, it just seems it went like a year of world building, and then they've just been tearing it down for the last 2. It's very odd. I don't know. It's very fun though. It's popcorn action. I've been enjoying it quite a bit, and it's a lot of setup for your Futures End stuff. So it seems to be laying a lot of groundwork for stuff that we're seeing in Futures End right now.
Okay.
So I recommended borrowing it from me here.
They may borrow it.
Yeah. So moving
I
on.
actually have time. I'll have all the time this weekend.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
What do you got?
I've got Justice League.
Oh yeah, the place I wanted to start, but I just wanted to get our weekly out of the way because we had so many.
All right, so in Justice League, let's see what actually happened in Justice League this week.
Did you read Justice
I did
League
read
this
Justice
week?
League this week.
Okay.
All right, so when you think of Justice League, you know what I think of?
A League
Heroes?
of Justice?
Business.
No.
Hardcore business action.
Wait, was Man-Bat there?
There were no business man-bats,
Okay.
which is unfortunate.
Because he shows up in Red Hood and the Outlaws, and I was like,
Okay.
hey, get back to work, businessman.
Yeah.
So they were getting the business.
They were giving business the business.
Yes,
They were.
But yeah, so Lex Luthor has been slowly joining the Justice League over the past few issues. And so part of this elaborate ritual to join the Justice League, he has merged LexCorp with Wayne Enterprises. So there's this big elaborate, like thing where you go on TV meeting, the big press meeting.
A press announcement?
A press
release?
Press release, something. There's some big thing where like Lex Luthor and Bruce Wayne go and give a big speech in front of people.
See, that's why it's been taking so long, because both legal departments had to sign off on this whole merger.
Yeah, so they go and they shake hands, and like all the rest of the Justice League, who you get to see in their street clothes, are off in the crowd waiting for Lex Luthor to do something evil and turn on them so they can go and arrest him. But it doesn't happen. Although my favorite, Aquaman does not get street clothes. He just gets to stand off on top of a building. Aquaman's natural habitat, standing dramatically on top of a skyscraper.
Come on, you didn't like Cyborg in a hoodie, and it's like no one's going to notice my giant, bulky, creaking armor.
Yeah, meanwhile, Aquaman, one of the most handsome men on the planet, you go hide off on a skyscraper somewhere. Okay.
We have everything in order here. We are masters of disguise.
They didn't have a fountain anywhere close?
Nope, no fountain.
Was it raining? Was it high up enough that it was raining? I don't recall.
I don't think so.
They do specifically say if something bad happens, Aquaman is going to dive off the top of the building onto them. Those are their exact words. That's all you're good at, Aquaman.
I think it would have been better, though, if, like Beth said, he was in a fountain just spitting water with a hose.
While no one else is watching it. Oh, man. Screw my Triple Lindy joke. All right. So, Lex Luthor goes and takes Batman on a tour of LexCorp. So he's like, so where's all your evil stuff, Lex? Like, there's no evil stuff here. Here, look, here's my secret lab where I'm working on all these gigantic weapons for world protection. See? World protection weapons. And then he's like, well, what about your other lab? I don't need to show you my other lab. Oh, I shouldn't have said I had another lab.
Ah, I fooled you, Lex Luthor.
Mm-hmm. So they go off to another lab, the more secret lab, and they talk about Bizarro, and he's like, I'm growing another Bizarro. I liked my monster sidekick. You get all sorts of Robins, and they die all the time, and you get new ones. I want another Bizarro. And
yeah,
Batman's
for Lex Luthor trying to be nice and actually work with Bruce Wayne, because he's made a conscious effort to be a nice guy recently. Mm-hmm. That was kind of a real douche conversation.
Oh, yeah.
How many kids have you burned through there, Batman?
I've only gone through one. I'm a saint.
And it was a clone at that.
Mm-hmm. Suddenly they are attacked by a guy named Neutron, who's just burned in doing a dance, I guess.
Was that a Doom Patrol guy? That's what I was getting the feeling of.
Maybe. I don't.
He just seemed kind of janky
and
low rent.
Wasn't Neutron the guy that Impulse was trying to get rid of in Young Justice?
I don't recall.
From the future? Maybe.
I believe so, but
that's where I was
recall.
getting the thing, but he kind of looks like the Human Bomb, maybe one of the more modern versions of him. Anyway, he shows up and he starts causing a ruckus, so the Justice League jumps in, and in the fracas, they accidentally release the Amazo virus.
With horrible timing in both the DCU as well as the real world
and
proper.
Northeast Ohio, yes.
The Amazo virus.
Amazo. It's Amazo.
And what are the symptoms of the Amazo virus?
Fabulous fashion sense.
I caught that a long time ago.
You're a carrier, Beth.
Yeah. Good thing we got that Bat hazmat suit he's gonna be wearing. Batman's prepared for everything. Really you see that amazing Bat hazmat suit in the Channel 52 in the back?
Yep.
Look how awesome that is.
And
we're gonna be seeing you in Cleveland soon.
we actually have a an explanation for where all those awesome costumes are coming from at Batman and Robin this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's Alfred. He's the one putting everything together.
He's responsible for neon laser luge Batman.
He is.
Oh, man.
It was a dark time in the Pennyworth. He was into raving at the time. He was hanging out with Clarion and all the EDM bands. It was just it was a real dark time.
Yeah.
So what do you think? It's a
Still not much Justice League in my Justice League book.
really. I absolutely adored the part where it was them showing Power Girl the ropes.
Power Girl? Oh,
I'm
Power
sorry,
Ring.
Power Ring the
Yeah.
ropes, and it's the Flash is running off to get ice cream for kids after an earthquake and everything. I thought those were great little character moments that they
they're
had.
great character moments, but they're like 5 panels of a 22-page comic book.
And then business.
And them all standing together. So.
Business.
And Aquaman standing on a rooftop.
Yes, and Aquaman did get to dive off the rooftop.
He
into the
did.
secret
He was
lab.
waiting that entire time. Okay, so a mixed bag for
Mixed
you.
bag. Like I said, it's still good. It's not something I would call Justice League.
Yeah,
I'd
it's
call
still
it like
DCU
DCU
proper,
or
yeah.
Lex Luthor at this point.
Which for a spine book, for being a run through touch point for the DC universe, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
We're still following some of the characters and their interactions. I mean, Lex Luthor's part of the Justice League.
Shazam and Cyborg got their one panel of buddiness.
Yes, let's go get hot dogs. Forget this stakeout crap. Okay, well, we'll see where it goes from here. But we're caught up.
and his girlfriend in Coast City.
Yes,
that
you
never
wouldn't
met.
know her. Next up, though, we're continuing with a major event. That was the start of the Amazovirus thing, though. I just thought it was really poor timing, what with the whole Ebola scare going on.
Just a bit.
I was like, I know you guys have this like planned 6 months ago and all, but come on, guys. That just sucks to be you sometimes. Next event, though, is Godhead. Godhead is going on over in the Green Lantern books. Beth, you remember the Green Lanterns, right?
Sure.
They shoot. Are you kidding me? Okay, name me a Green Lantern. Name a single Green Lantern.
Hal Jordan.
Oh, wow, I'm actually kind of impressed about that one. What are some of the other colors?
Red.
Okay.
White.
Okay.
Orange.
Okay.
Not blue because they don't exist because they suck.
Boo. Boo.
Pink.
Kind of. Sapphire. I don't know if that's a color,
but it's pink.
It is
Sapphire
pink.
is blue.
It is always colored as pink. Even though it's supposed to be violet.
The color of love. Anyway, the one we're kind of dealing with now is the White Lantern, who is Kyle Rayner, the 4th Lantern from Earth.
I think so.
Yeah, because it goes
Hal, John, Guy, and then Kyle, I think.
I think it's Hal, Guy, John, and Kyle, actually. I think. I don't know. You're the expert here. I'm
pretty sure it's John.
Whatever. So what we're dealing with here is Kyle Rayner, who is the White Lantern, the Lantern of Life, and he sacrificed himself to refill all of the color spectrum reservoir quite a few issues back, actually. And when he did so, he ended up getting sucked into this thing called the source wall, which is kind of the wall that divides the source and reality,
and the
I
not
guess.
source.
And the not source.
It's the end of the universe.
Yeah, think of it that way.
Just past the restaurant.
Well, while he was inside this wall, he was absorbed into it, he was leaning against it and did not realize that the life equation, the equation that controls all life in the universe, was written on that wall in chalk, and he accidentally smudged some of it, and he went, "Ooh, I'll fix that. I think it was an X here, or maybe a 2. I don't know, whatever. I'll throw a dividing sign in here, and we're good to go." So he kind of jacked everything up and accidentally took the life equation with him when he came back into the universe. So he quite literally has the power of a god. Brah! That's Kyle right now. So the Guardians are filling him in on what's going on. The new gods are running around trying to find you because you have the life equation, and they wanted to fight off Darkseid. And so that's why we've kind of been making you lie and say you're dead to all of your friends, and been keeping you way out far in the distant universe so that you're not interacting with anyone until we figured out what was going on. Yeah, we were aware the whole time, but we were lying to you for the greater good. And that's
You're
when
just making it sound as if he's carrying around a ripped piece of notebook paper with something scribbled on it.
No, it's actually inside him. The formula's inside him.
Scribbled on the back of his hand so he could cheat on the test.
Exactly. So it's basically yada, yada, yada. The Guardians saying, we're doing it for the greater good. And both Carol and Kyle say, you know what? You guys were supposed to be better than the last set of Guardians. That's exactly what the last Guardians did. They kept secrets. They manipulated us. They moved all their pieces around. You guys are bad Guardians too. We're going to go and help out our friends from all these new gods that are attacking. And that's when the Guardians decide, well, if you're going to do that, we're going to have to try to snuff the life equation out of you. We have to just erase it so it doesn't fall into bad hands, and they start blasting Kyle, but he loses control of his godlike powers. Starts blasting back against the Guardians, but Carol jumps in to try to help and ends up getting hit in the crossfire, and using his god powers, accidentally turns his current girlfriend physically into his dead ex-girlfriend.
That's awesome.
Awkward.
So that's when he kind of realizes, oh crap, this probably is me losing control a little bit. And that's when Highfather, the leader of the new gods, shows up, banishes off all the Guardians through a boom tube, and ends up talking to Kyle and convincing him, hey dude, you know, I'm a new god and all. I have some longevity in my vision. I have a large scope. Turning your current girlfriend into your ex-girlfriend, not gonna get you far with the brownie points. You're gonna have some awkward conversations moving forward here. Carol, of course, ends up turning back into her normal self at this point. And Highfather just goes, hey, tell you what, I can't erase the life equation, but I need to get it out of you to fight off Darkseid. Why don't you come back to New Genesis with me? We'll work together. We'll figure it out. I'm not a bad guy. I'm really not. I'm trying to defend the multiverse here. So what do you say? And Kyle goes, hey, it's as good an option of any. So
The
at least
worst pickup line I ever heard. Why don't you come back to my place?
Yeah. We'll suck out that life equation. But then Carol ends up making up with him because she's going to go follow him wherever. They have kissy time as the two of them jump through the boom tube heading off to New Genesis.
So who develops these boom tubes? Have you ever gone through it? Like, is there a wholesale shop?
What do you mean? They're like wormholes.
Okay.
Like portals that you can just sort of open up with fancy technology.
Yes.
Oh,
So it's not like an
everybody has
actual
them.
tube that they just ploop stick into the side of the universe and crawl through. That wouldn't get them very far, by the way.
Extend like the Popoid boom tube from one place to the other and just jump through it. Futurama style.
This isn't getting us there any faster. We're just walking through a tube from point A to point B.
The most advanced civilizations have boom tubes.
So yeah, we're moving forward. I kind of like where this is going now.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like the revelation with the Guardians.
Yeah.
That it wasn't just hey, we're just having a goofy romp out in space to tell sci-fi stories and everything like that. There was a reason behind it.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like how that's paying off. This emotional reservoir stuff seems to be building to a bigger plot beat.
Yeah.
That
much bigger than we originally thought it was.
Yeah.
We thought it was just the end of the last crossover.
Yeah, and it was
more to
refilled
it,
and wipe our hands of it and walk away type thing. No, it seems like they're going to come back to that one or two more times. Oh. So moving up next.
Yes,
What
and
do you
hey,
got?
really, really expressive artwork for an issue that is literally just people standing around talking the entire time.
Yes, very much so. Very much
very
so.
good job, whoever did that.
I could
right.
tell you read that one just religiously.
Yeah.
You were just like, for pictures. Oh, it's Alex. Oh, pictures.
All right. Teen Titans. Number 3, I believe.
got my bunker back, kind of.
Kind of?
He's
He's
got a
doing his thing.
tinge there.
Yeah. All right. So in Teen Titans, Raven is still at her black metal concert that was being thrown in her honor. And so, hey, everyone loves Raven. She starts dancing and like making like Oogie Boogie monsters showing up while she's dancing. Like, oh, hey, Raven's here. So everyone's so super excited that Raven's there. When suddenly the concert gets crashed by, what's her name? Algorithm? The
Yes,
lady robot?
yes, the
lady
robot lady.
I heard someone said she looks an awful lot like an old Wildstorm character named Ladytron.
Ladytron?
Yes, I'm not sure if that
That is awesome if that's a character name.
Yeah. So
Beth,
then-
will you go as Ladytron for Halloween?
You're going to have to Google it first.
Well, no, I think we just put a name tag on you that says Ladytron, and you just make bleep blop blorp noises every now and again. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Absolutely.
She has like a half T-shirt with like a screw and an exclamation point next to it.
Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
All right, so then the rest of Teen Titans, they show up, they fight Algorithm, and then they think that they blow her up, but
so
she
much
doesn't.
Math. So much math.
Totally math. Downright
Algebraic.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So they fight Algorithm, and they think they killed her, but she didn't. When she exploded, she just planted like a little, I don't know, homing beacon or something on the roof, and then she went and skittered away all, technology-like, back to Manchester Black. And maybe Josiah Power has something to do with it?
This is some detailed storytelling you got here.
Yeah.
How about you just tell everyone that Beast Boy was an emu for most of the
He was an emu
issue?
for most of it, and it was great. He was also a bison.
Yes.
Kenneth Rocafort, for all the garbage I gave him, he was born to draw Beast Boy.
He really
He is so good at drawing animals, and he has never had a chance to do it before, so he is just killing it.
He really is killing the art on this
Yes.
on this entire issue. And I love the fact that it's they beat up the robot lady. She's in pieces on the ground, and then it's just Beast Boy comes in, turns into a bison, and just steps on her a bunch of times. He's
Just
like,
making sure.
Yep,
Just making
I
sure."
got this. These are my beast powers that I bring to the team.
Yep, like a bunch of young late teen something people, like they after their big night out on the town of beating up lady robots, they go eat at an all night Denny's, and they stay there way too long and probably tip horribly. They're young people. And also, like, Robin goes off to a Star Labs facility or something, and he gets kidnapped or beat up or something because Ladytron didn't actually die.
Yeah.
Algorithm,
I was gonna say, you
Ladytron,
can't
whatever.
forget Red
it's
Robin.
more fun to say Ladytron.
It is actually more fun to say Ladytron. I was gonna say you were skipping over the entire Red Robin is a sad sack nowadays because he solves where she's at, shows up, and gets beat up.
Yep. Poor Red Robin.
Yeah, poor guy. I love the art. I love Rocafort. I've said that so many times. The story is interesting to me. The cult of personality with the internet and everything that they have going on.
I would have devoted more time to this book if I had the time.
Yeah. Please do not take anything because my next book is going to be a horrible, horrible representation. It is reductionist at its worst levels because
You sure, Sean?
it is. It's horrible reductionism on my part. Trinity of Sin #1. It's our new #1 for this week, and I'm pre-apologizing it because there's so many nuances in the book that I'm not going to cover. I'm being blatantly honest with you.
Okay.
If you liked any of the characters, make sure you give it a shot at least, but don't go just by what I'm going to say here. The Question. We're starting with him. He can apparently alter his appearance, it seems. Like he can make himself appear like whoever he wants to other people. He's living with this older woman who gets killed and replaced by a demon that attacks the Question. Moving on. The Phantom Stranger, who is hanging out with Dr. 13, who is channeling his inner Egon. They are on paranormal inspection duty, and he has like this little gadget that's looking for ghosts throughout San Francisco. They end up finding this little ghost boy, and Phantom Stranger pulls him out of this torment that he's in and shows him the way to heaven. And Dr. 13's like, man, that's super cool. When I get back and tell Zoriel about how super awesome you are, she's gonna be totally... And that is when Dr. 13 is run through with a sword by a demon and murdered, killed, dead, no longer alive.
Boo.
No more Dr. 13.
Yeah, we still got Tracy 13 in a portrait. She hasn't shown up yet.
But the demon that attacks does say that he lives on within their sword. So we could have Phantom Stranger.
Katana's
Exactly. We could have the awesome sitcom situation where it's Dr. 13 living in a sword, not believing in paranormal things, along with Katana and her husband. It would be great. I would love it.
The creeper could be the wacky neighbor.
Exactly.
Just come sliding in. Yeah.
Anyone need a lawsuit? Pandora, meanwhile, is on vacation, not making that up. She's decided after all the chaos that she has been through, she's going to take a couple weeks off and goes to the beach off in Southeast Asia. Is just hanging out on the beach talking about how wonderful life is and how she never really took the time to slow down and enjoy it over the thousands of years she's been alive because she had that vengeance thing against the 7 deadly sins for all those years.
Wait, does that mean that Mr. E can now be the evil boss character in
Holy crap.
My Husband the Sword?
There are a lot of people in
There's a lot of people
swords right
trapped
now.
in swords. We can make My Husband the Sword happen, Sean.
I'm saying, I'm just going to throw this out here. We need to start our webcomic of just all the characters who live with swords kind of interacting with one another. I'm just throwing that out there. So she's on vacation when she also is attacked by a demon. And as she's fighting off against the demon, she senses the other two, both the Question and Phantom Stranger, are fighting demons as well. And there seems to be this odd link between the three of them. And she uses her powers to kind of link them all together to push off these demons and summons them all together. Where the Question kind of looks up and goes, Phantom Stranger and Pandora, I hate you guys. Haven't I told you that for the last 3 years? I hate you guys. Leave me alone. And he goes wandering off by himself. And Phantom Stranger and Pandora track the magical signature of these demons that have been attacking them into space, where they confront a demon bird monster named Nimra, who is just floating above the planet. Nimra! Okay. So yeah, it was a story. It wasn't the worst thing. As I said, there was a lot of nuances. I was sad to see Dr. 13 go. I'm thinking I'm going to need an arc to kind of figure out what direction they're going with this. If it's just them fighting demons, it's not really going to be aimed at my taste. If they go a little more subtle with the characters, I think it'll be a lot more fun, and they had that hint of subtlety in their personal times by themselves. So we see where it goes from there. Wrap up the half for me, Brian.
All right, Future's End. We're just going to see a bunch of stuff happening. So let's go to the break. No. I actually took notes on this, kind of.
I was going to say, the weeklies are the ones we really have to take notes for.
I know. All right, so in Stormwatch, out in space, they're escaping from the Blood Moon, Brainiac's home base planet thing.
Giant, interstellar, galactic-sized Brainiac.
Yes.
Galactic-ack.
Sure.
Ack.
Having a heart attack. Okay, so they take the engineer.
You ought to know by now.
I ought to know by now. So they've saved. So it's it's Frankenstein and Hawkman and Amethyst and Adam and Black Adam have both shown up joining the team, and they are saving the engineer, the robot lady who was a part of the old Stormwatch and got taken over by Brainiac.
Ladytron?
Not Ladytron.
They're saving Lady. There's a lot of robot ladies over in Wildstorm at sea.
Yeah. So they take engineer and they're like, okay, she's been infected by a computer virus named a very, very resilient computer virus that has been created by Brainiac. She might be taken over by Brainiac herself.
So we're going to launch another virus.
No, so we're going to take this robot
back. It's
a
computer virus.
We're going to take this robot that's infected onto our highly technical spaceship. And when she gets on there, she's sort of like shakes her head and she's like, oh, okay, I'm the engineer again.
I'm fine now. No
totally
one be
fine.
suspicious of anything.
And also, she apparently, before she died, or almost died, was an item with Hawkman. So she immediately starts making out with Hawkman, totally ruining his chances with Amethyst, who he's been flirting with this entire time.
Who actually looks at him kind of ticked off, too.
What is this? Making out with robot ladies?
God.
Come on.
God, I'm a princess of Gem World here.
Mm-hmm. I tell ya. So we cut over to Cadmus Island, where Brother Eye had come to and just sort of, like, completely torn the place up.
Yes.
And so, Mr. Miracle, he's there. He escaped from the prison. He escaped from things. Yes, he does.
A god of escaping escaped from things?
Yes, he did.
Huh.
So he comes to, and apparently he beat the snot out of Fury, who is Earth 2 Wonder Woman's daughter.
Yes, with a human male, but we don't know who yet.
Yeah, he beat the snot out of Fury to get her out of Brother Eye's control, and apparently they were an item too?
Kissy?
I guess. Big Barda's going to be pretty upset when she runs into him.
Actually,
who she's coming to save.
In Earth 2 World's End, it's Big Barda is the teacher of Fury, and they are the ones in charge of watching over Mr. Miracle when he was being held by Bedlam or whatever it is. So technically, as he's escaping right now, he has to get past those two. So it's as I said, they're seeding some stuff that's going on in Future's End
I see.
in the World's End stuff, so that you can actually get the backstory as to how that happened over in World's End.
What's
so they might just be pals. Okay.
Soap opera that's going on.
There's a lot of soap opera in this book.
There's a lot of kissy this week. Period.
Yeah, period.
Oh, it's Sweetest Day that only Ohio knows about.
Kissy.
Oh, God.
All right. Switching over to Columbia University, that hotbed of everything, apparently, in the 5 years from now universe. Madison Payne and Ronnie Raymond are gonna be boyfriend girlfriends
Because she hates that her last boyfriend hid the fact that he was a superhero from her.
Mm-hmm.
So she's gonna.
So now she's dating one half of Firestorm, and everything's gonna be just fine.
Mentioning anything about being Firestorm.
Yeah. So former Red Robin Tim Drake, who as we all know is currently living under the name Spoons Manley.
He did it again this week, by the way. Should I call you Tim? No, call me
Spoons.
Corcoran. I'm
call me
God
Spoons.
Damn it, Tim.
So he tries to make up with Madison, but he is rejected.
But he gave her the rose. I've seen the TV shows. Doesn't that mean they live happily ever after?
Baby! Dr. Yamakaze, who's been trying to build a teleporter, needs to get he gets the teleporter to work on like a skeleton? Like a skeleton with like glasses on and like a hoodie.
I assumed it was the corpse of his dead wife because, well, I lost the only piece of memorabilia of our marriage before she died. I guess I'll just dig her up actually and put her in there.
But they fire up the teleporter and they get it to work, and he's like, great, now we've got to start testing on humans now, right now. And Jason Rush, the other half of Firestorm who's been working with him, goes, I don't know, shouldn't we try it on like a mouse or something? Maybe a fly? I'm sure nothing can go bad with that.
Yeah, how about you get in there with a fly
and
we'll make sure it can separate the DNA.
Yeah, and he's like, should we not do this? He's like, hey, are you trying to stop me? Are you trying to halt progress? Because I guess I bet you he's probably doing this for some evil means at this point. I'm sure.
No, I think he's just caught up and he's got the tunnel vision and isn't really thinking things through, but he does need some sort of quality control, some sort of QA, because to go from a mannequin to, hey, Bob, step in this tube real quick.
Why doesn't he just get a boom tube? They're all the rage.
The store was sold out. As you said, someone bought them out in bulk. They bought a gross of boom tubes, and there's none left.
At the Apocalypse wholesale store.
AKA
Members,
Sam's Club.
Members only. Heyo. Yeah. Members only. Members only, Dr. Yamakaze.
There's a jacket, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, finally, in Africa, Constantine, Midge, and Tommy are waiting for Superman to come back when the parasite alien shows up and tears a giant hole in Tommy.
Well,
no,
we hardly knew you,
Tommy. Literally. And then he goes and kills Midge. No, Midge, we hardly knew ye. Literally. And then Zack Snyder shows up in true Zack Snyder Superman fashion as soon as a bunch of people have already died. And goes to fight the parasite alien. And that'll be what'll start us off next week, I'm sure.
Come on. Why are you still swinging at that movie?
I'm going to keep on doing it.
No, I thought that was a very cinematic ending to this issue, though, as far as a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Where it was Constantine on his knees, like, oh, I wish I still had power. I would do something to help you, but there's nothing I can do. And then bearded Superman lands behind the robot and is like, but I can. Pow! You guys are looking at me very strange, right?
Wasn't going to save Midge. Wasn't going to save the roadie from Leonard Skinner.
Well,
I'm going to save John Constantine. Because he's got a TV show.
Yeah, exactly. We need him. We need him for the ratings boost.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really actually kind of liking Future's End now that all of the groundwork has been placed for all the characters.
Yeah, it's really picked up on the second
the
half.
slow burn happened up until Future's End month. And as we assumed, that was when it kind of kicked into overdrive and everything's been running on all cylinders since. So, unfortunately, you do need that slow build up to actually enjoy any of the stuff going on right now, though. That's what, sorry.
Yep.
Can't really, well, there was that one at the beginning of Future's End month that wasn't a bad jump on point.
Yeah.
And I think that was kind of what they were aiming for, that midway point where they could go, well, here's kind of a catch-up issue, and go.
Yep.
And we'll see where it goes from there. So, that does wrap up this half. Brian, what do you have for round 2?
Batman, Superman, Batwoman, kind of, and Supergirl.
And I have our third weekly with Batman Eternal number 28. Batman and Robin are hellbats riding into apocalypse. A lot of apocalypse today, too. A lot of it. As you can tell, there's a lot of through lines with the apocalypse stuff. And then I will wrap up the show with Red Hood and the Outlaws number 35. So give us a quick second, and after this break, we will go through those books.
one, should you have let all those Clovis monkeys into the house?
No, I should not. But they were so cute. They were outside, just like playing and everything.
Were they dancing to The Lion Sleeps Tonight like on Friends?
It was great.
Aww.
And the
parasites be damned.
The foamy mouths looked really cool and everything. So
you don't have to worry about the monkeys. You have to worry about the evil green leafy.
Oh yes, that tried to mate with me, the cicada or whatever it was that attacked me yesterday. I was sitting there eating dinner, and all of a sudden we just hear clack, 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 clack from behind me, and I'm like, holy crap, is that a circuit blowing or something? And I stand up, and Beth and everyone, leave me to my death. They go running, they're like, holy crap! And then, I had to spend the next 20 minutes trying to get this stupid giant bug out of our house that they were all fleeing from. It was a great time. Great time. So I'm going to jump into books. Guess what half we are in, Beth?
The Robin half.
Kind of, actually.
Yeah.
It's the middle children of Batman are really who we're focusing on this half. But it is the Bat half of the show, and we start off with our third weekly, Batman Eternal number 28. The poster child of middle children, Jason Todd. That's who we're going to start off with, Red Hood. He has decided he's wrapped up his stuff where he helped out Batgirl and did his little help for Batman, who asked him to help out with the whole situation down in Brazil. And now he's just going to blow off some steam before he skips out of Gotham by visiting his favorite bar, Noonan's Sleazy Bar.
Ah, yes.
Which I believe is probably franchised throughout all of Gotham City. I think they are all Noonan's Sleazy Bars. But he's going to blow off some steam, and it just doesn't work. He's not feeling it. And as he's
Isn't that the bar from Hitman?
Is it? I don't remember. I don't remember that detail.
Man, I'm gonna look
that would
that
be
up
that would be a nice dive though if they
that'd be
reference
great.
that. Mm-hmm. He does call back to Roy and Stargirl, who are off fighting in space, and they're actually screaming "Die, alien scum!" as they're having this conversation. And he decides he's going to see Batgirl before he leaves because there was a budding romance of some sort there. So he goes to her apartment, finds a whole bunch of pictures of Commissioner Bard, who they found out had betrayed them and destroyed the evidence to release her father. And he goes, ruh-roh, and tracks her down to a rooftop where she has Commissioner Bard hanging from a rope, about to drop him off the side of the building because of what she did to his dad. And Jason Todd basically goes, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm going to talk you down here. This isn't you. You're a good person. Hand me the rope. And he slowly works his way over and he grabs the rope. He's like, this isn't how you do things. This is how I do things. And he lets go of the rope to let him fall to his death. And he's like, yep, it's good being the anti-hero. But Batgirl at the last second dives and catches the rope and saves him. And Red Hood tells her, see, you're the best one of all of us. You were always better than all of us Robins. You're a good person at heart. And Batgirl goes, well, do you ever think about maybe staying here in Gotham? And he's like, there ain't crap for me here. It's just going to be Batman all the time. And she goes, well, what if there was more than just that? What if, kizzy. And Red Hood answers with the quote from when they first met. Just like what you said when we first met, Barbara. I'll never be Dick Grayson. And he jumps on his motorcycle and rides off into the night. Where he dies momentarily on Dead Man's Curve.
Yes.
It's a great scene. It's very Jason Todd. Just that loner anti-hero guy. Batman, meanwhile, while all this is going on, has dusted off the body of Flamingo that was all unconscious, dumped him off in a field, and is hiding behind a tombstone waiting for Flamingo to regain consciousness, who does so, checks his text messages, and then rides off on his pink motorcycle. Beth, do you remember why we love the Flamingo? Do you know who the Flamingo is? I know you've asked before.
Have I?
Yes, you have.
Are you sure?
He is the flamboyant Freddie Mercury as a master assassin character. Dresses in pink, has a whole Matador theme to him.
Well,
he's great. He's literally one of our favorite characters.
I don't know.
He's actually literally one of our favorite literal characters.
Sounds like a slight against Freddie Mercury.
It's not. He's great. He's great.
Pure homage.
Yes, but it's absolutely great. But what Batman has done is put a tracker on him and is going to follow him back to Hush. Oh, sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. Which leaves us Catwoman, who has been...
My favorite thing about Hush is when I whisper all of my insults at him, it doesn't pick up on the microphone, doesn't show up on the show.
He actually is mouthing a bunch of insults whenever I say the word Hush. Which leaves us Catwoman, who was captured by Bone, the gang leader that she had slighted early in her run in the New 52, who has decided to get revenge for her embarrassment of him eons and eons ago, is going to kill her in front of a live studio audience of a bunch of other gang members. So
he must really like her.
Why's that?
I don't know. He's holding a grudge.
Well, he caved in Catwoman caved in Bone's skull with a pipe, and he can't see straight, and he kind of has like twitchy arms and everything now because of what she did. So he's lost a lot of pull in the gang community.
So we have a setup for her to escape pretty easily.
Yeah, pretty much. But she's chained to a stripper pole. Just saying, in the middle of a club, and they're going to kill her. And actually, there's a whole bunch of people here to witness it.
It's going to be televised?
No, there's a whole bunch of different gang members here that she has
live
slighted.
streaming on the Undernet.
It probably is. But Tiger Shark is there, and he's all like being Tiger Sharky. And Ibanescu, the gang member,
is he like punching like a rare like Asian squirrel in the head or something?
He's literally clubbing a baby seal
Yes.
in his sea. His whole thing is he likes rare animals' clothes, essentially. And so Ibanescu is there, and then Jade, the little girl that Batman had rescued before, and is
his
one of
loafers, former gophers.
But they are all there to see Catwoman killed, except for Jade, who is her friend and doesn't want to see her die. But Ibanescu, being her uncle, is making her watch to see what happens when they betray the crime families. And they are about to do so when Killer Croc comes busting through the dodo, looking for Jade, and just starts tearing the place up. But this leads to Tiger Shark going, "Oh, my new belt!"
Yes! Yes, Tiger Shark!
Who wants nothing more than to capture Killer Croc to skin him and make a new belt out of his Killer Croc's hide.
A belt? He doesn't go for the shoes or a bag?
He's actually got...
They're already gophers, I said that.
Oh, okay, a bag?
I don't know. He wants a belt. So he starts beating up the other gang members who are trying to shoot Killer Croc because he doesn't want holes in his new belt.
But you need holes in a belt.
I know.
They're just cutting out the middleman.
But then he ends up jumping into the fray as well, where he's like, "New belt!" and attacking. And then Killer Croc tears him up, and he's stuck laying in a corner, bleeding, going, "Oh, he tore my python skin jacket." For being such just a side little background character, I don't know why I love this guy so much.
He dropped a killer whale on someone to fight them. That's why.
Oh, yeah. You have to admit, if you recall, it was the penguin.
Yes.
And as we know, he
Killer
just
whales love
Wikipedia'd how do I get rid of penguins, and the first hit was killer whales.
Oh, Willy. Okay, I'll just free Willy.
So Catwoman escapes in this whole fray, but as this is going on, Ibanescu goes to take a shot to kill her, and accidentally shoots the little girl Jade instead, killing her. Ew.
We hardly knew ye.
Actually, she's been in a lot. She has been in it a lot. I've kind of downplayed her stuff because it was all just little side character stuff.
Okay.
They have done a very good job of establishing her as a runner character for the crime families. And, if you recall, she was also living with Killer Croc in the underground. Killer Croc, Batman basically shows up. He follows, Flamingo to this building, beats him up, comes into the room to find Killer Croc on his knees crying that he has lost everything. He's lost all of the people he was in charge of underneath. He's lost all of his respect.
He lost that dragon.
He lost that dragon. He lost the one last girl that he was trying to protect. This one little girl that was all of that was left of the people that were under his protection.
I'm sure nothing bad will happen with Killer Croc.
No, he's actually just sitting there going, "Take me to Arkham. I'm done. I have nothing else to live for." It's sad as hell to see Killer Croc reduced to that.
Eesh.
Where he's just done. I mean, he's probably going to go the Two-Face route at this point.
Well, he could just give himself up for a belt.
He could have. He could have lived a nice long life as a belt, just coiled around Tiger Shark's waist. Mm-hmm. Actually, just clamping on with his jaw to his tail. Catwoman,
Tiger Shark championship belt.
Yeah. Catwoman can't face what she's caused with all of her mischief that this little girl ended up paying with her life. And, she runs away from Batman because she just can't face it. And there's only one choice left for her. She has to bring order to the city, so she goes to Blackgate to meet her dad, Rex Calabrese, aka the Lion, aka the old crime boss of all of Gotham City and goes, Dad, you were right. Someone needs to control the chaos. It's just anarchy out there right now. I need you to get me in contact with all of your people in the crime families. It's time for me to take over as head of the crime families of Gotham, which is where we're kind of leading Catwoman to in all of her appearances elsewhere. The business casual, not really business casual, the slimming suit Catwoman, where she's
still unbuttoned down to the navel.
It's true. Well, I mean, it's her signature. She has to. She owns the company. She can make the HR rules as she sees fit. That's how she does it. As I said, I went a little long on it because it was very well done. The entire storyline, it was kind of a culmination of a bunch of little things. And then next week, we're finally going to find out what happened to the Spectre and Batwing underneath Arkham Asylum.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they've been kind of quiet for a while. So let's follow up there. Moving on. What do you got?
All right. So now for the exact opposite of your detailed Batman Eternal recap, Batman Superman. So KO, the trickster, who's been a constant thorn on their side, has wiped their memories clean. So
wipe.
Yeah, so they landed on Earth. Batman, Superman. They landed back like in Gotham City with their minds erased. So Batman's gonna be in a Playboy jerkbag, but he finally found his way and he's trying to be a good person again. He meets up with Lois Lane, who is there reporting on a guy named Mangubat, who happened to show up with a bunch of robots in Gotham City. And his name
Didn't
is
happen to
Mangubat.
show up. He was the guy from the first arc. Do you remember the first arc when they met and there was a guy that was working for Wayne Enterprises that stole a bunch of robotics?
Okay, yeah.
This is that guy.
The robotics, yes.
The robotics.
Yeah, so anyway, Batman starts flirting with Lois Lane to the point where he's like, hey, why don't you be my, sidekick or something? Put on this Batgirl uniform I just found laying around in the Batcave.
I had one laying around.
It's cosplay time for Lois Lane, I guess, and she goes off to be a sidekick. And meanwhile, Superman showed up, shirtless, possibly naked, next to Catwoman, so Catwoman's like, oh, hey, new boy toy, so I'm gonna make you be my, evil bodyguard, dress you up like Rocky Horror.
And he's got a championship belt,
and he's got his championship Superman belt.
Not a Killer Croc belt, though.
No.
It would have been too much.
Mm-hmm.
Too much.
Too soon.
He doesn't have the Amazovirus. He doesn't have that fashion sense.
Oh, Jesus Christ! We're just turning around on ourselves like an Ouroboros. So there's a big fight. Superman's trying to take over the city by force, and Batman's like, "Hey, no, let's not do that. I'm trying to be a good guy now and impress this lady that dressed up like me." And then all of a sudden, they just sort of realize, oh wait, I have all my memories back suddenly, and everything is fine. And Mangubat gets, that
was the
punched.
whole thing. They had to actually want to regain their memories.
Yeah.
And they were actually enjoying not having the responsibility of their horrible past, so they were refusing to do so, and then it finally got to a point where they're like, damn it, now we have to.
So Superman goes back with Lois Lane, and Batman's like, okay, I'll deal with you, Catwoman. They go off and they do their thing. And then KO the Trickster, who has been kind of putting on the show for Lord Satanus, this big evil demon Satan guy, since his name's Satanus and all.
I'm assuming.
Yeah. She's just like, okay, well, we had our fun, right? And he's like, yeah, we did, but I'm going to keep you as my hilarious little entertainment jester thing for a while. And he keeps her in her cage and takes her off to the netherworld. And I'm sure that will lead to more things in the future. I'm sure. Although we do get more kissy time in this one. Because it's Batman and Lois Lane. Mm-hmm. Smooches.
Really?
Yep.
Don't you think Superman would get a little bit?
He was a little annoyed. He was also busy, being ogled and fondled by Catwoman.
Especially since it's already been dumped out that Batman has a thing for Wonder Woman, who Superman's currently dating. You cannot trust Batman around your woman.
Nope.
He has no boundaries. He does not believe in the bro code.
So he doesn't have to explain, where the things came from. She already knows that he's Batman.
He never said he was Bruce Wayne.
No,
he just was always Batman around her.
I think didn't he get his memories back when she was about to take his mask off?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. This was like you did with my books. I just kind of went flippity flip, and it was like, hey, they're making out, coolness, and then flippity flip.
Really? You just stopped for that?
What was that? No, because it was just a page with Batman and Batgirl making out, and I was like, creepy!
Yeah.
And then I had to go back and at least see, okay, it's not actually Batgirl. Pew!
She suddenly got red hair when she was Batgirl, but
It's a wig that's attached in there.
Okay,
Yeah. Next up, Batman and Robin number 35, where we get to find out all the fashion detail of where these costumes are coming from. Actually, this one, I feel so bad for Cyborg. I feel so bad for him. We're going to start on Apocalypse itself, though. Batman has donned the Hellbat armor, his ultimate weapon / mecha unit, to go to Apocalypse and beat up everyone there until he can get the body of his dead son back from the horrible people that work for Darkseid that stole it, along with a crystal that, whatever. Bunch of stuff. He's after the MacGuffin and his dead son's body.
We're still on the whole Damien stuff?
Oh, yeah. Because
Really?
Ra's al Ghul stole the body, and then it ended up getting hijacked by the New Gods and taken to Apocalypse, and then the Justice League wouldn't help him, so then he ended up getting the armor from them anyway, and has gone solo himself to go get the body
And
back.
how long after has
This
this
is
been?
a year?
At least a year.
Because there was an arc of him doing other stuff in between first with the Two-Face stuff, and then
That's
it
just
came
him
back
dealing
to
with
this.
it, and then as soon as he got over it, the body got stolen.
Yeah. Whoopsie. So he's just tearing his way through, beating up parademons that are feeding the planet Apocalypse. I guess they throw people into the fire pits to feed the living god planet Apocalypse.
Okay.
Yeah, that was new to me. I was like, okay, I guess it gets hungry every now and again. And, apparently Apocalypse, not good for your complexion. Not good at all. He's like, pulls back the armor and there's burns or lesions or something on his arm, and he's like, oh, that's not good. And then he puts on his armor again and flies off looking for Godfrey, who has his son's body. Back in Gotham, though, Alfred is not at all surprised to find out that all of the Bat Kids have completely ignored Batman's orders to not get involved and have come back trying to find a way to make their way to Apocalypse to help him get this body back. Gee, how are we going to get to Apocalypse, guys? Well, the only person we know that has boom tube technology is Cyborg. He's got it built into his little armor thing there, and that the mother box that he interfaced with. Yeah, but he's with the Justice League, and they already said they're not going to help. Well, I have an idea, and Alfred runs back into the closet, and he comes out with a beveled briefcase, Brian, with a C and a gear on it. It's the Batman various plans that he spent all that time making the briefcases with their logos and insignias on them on how to take down people in the Justice League, just in case, like an Amazovirus hits or something like that. So they call up Cyborg and go, hey, Cyborg, can you swing by the Batcave? We need some help. You remember all those distractions that Grayson did for them to distract the Justice League so that Batman could steal the armor off the Watchtower? How he had Spiral set up all those fake alarms everywhere?
Okay, yes.
Okay. Well, they call up Cyborg and say, hey, we found where it's at, but we need someone with tech expertise to come down to the Batcave and clean it up. And he's like, yeah, sure, guys, no problem. You're all cool. I mean, we're all superheroes and stuff.
Except you're all about to take you down.
Well, they plug him into the machine and then use the VR thing, the Internet 3.0 that they had created before to basically trap him in a loop of
He uses everything.
Yeah, I know. It's so great. And then, while he's in there, Batgirl hot wires his little boom tube generator, kind of pops open the chest and sits there with 2 wires going, until a boom tube opens. While she's doing that, though, that's when Alfred comes out. He goes, oh, children, 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 I have made you all Damien-themed armor that will protect you while you are in Apocalypse, and you all have to wear his little insignia so that you remember what you're fighting for, and so that it's all thematically appropriate that you are all kind of like Damians yourselves. Off you go now, and he throws them through the boom tube that opened up. Cyborg does wake up during this process and is just like, what the hell? And jumps into the boom tube after them to see what's going on, leaving poor Alfred standing there because actually, what was his name? Titus, the Bat Hound, goes through with him, clinging onto the leg of Cyborg, trying to stop him. And they end up showing up with a bunch of Apocalypse parademons that want to eat the dog, and they all start fighting over there. Batman starts beating up Glorious Godfrey, trying to find the body over here. And all of them are distracted because Kalibak, the son of Darkseid, am I correct in this?
Yes.
Is he a biological son, or is he the son of Highfather that was traded like Orion?
No, it was Orion for Mr. Miracle.
Okay, gotcha. Oh man, that sucks for Mr. Miracle.
That's how he met his girlfriends in the Furies, because he got shunted over to them.
Gotcha. That makes a lot more sense. So, Kalibak has figured out a way to take that Chaos Crystal from the Batman Superman as well, that was in there, and he has weaponized it and turned it into a planet-destroying cannon, and he just starts randomly blowing up planets from Apocalypse, causing everyone to just look up and be like, oh, I think we got bigger problems. to be continued. Not even a joke. Tomasi pulls from everything. He started as an editor, right?
Mm-hmm.
It shows. It really shows. He obviously reads all of the books in his particular family, if not all of them.
Yeah.
And just goes, I'll take from column A, I'll take from column B. He would react to it because of this. He would do this because of that other one panel in issue 2 of this issue over here. He really pulls it together.
So you think it's ridiculous?
No, it's so well done. It's so well done. And he really doesn't get the respect I would think for that.
Yeah, I saw someone said on Facebook that he's taken over Superman and Wonder Woman.
He is.
I have no issues with that whatsoever.
No, I mean, it's why I wasn't making a big stink about Charles Soule leaving it, because it was like, you know what? That's a push for me.
Yeah.
Both of them I enjoy
Seriously.
both of their work, so I'm
You
quite
want to start
happy.
doing more than just one title every month? I have no problems with that.
But it's always a supporting title. Like he
Yeah.
was doing Green Lantern. No, don't get me wrong, that's great.
Yeah.
Because it's not off of him to make the stuff, it's off to him to react to stuff, it seems. Like the Green Lantern Corps, I mean, he made a lot of new developments, but he also did a lot of reactionary stuff to what was going on in the other titles. The Batman and Robin had a lot of reactionary, a lot of pulling from other titles right now. And I'm assuming the Superman Wonder Woman, he'll have both of those universes to pull from and really run rampant with it, especially since Charles Soule was already pretty well entrenched in what was going on in all those universes to begin with.
Yeah.
So, yay for me.
And since I got so excited about Tiger Shark, I've got to add the addendum. Noonan's Sleazy Bar is from Hitman.
Is it really?
Tommy Monahan shows up. Oh,
nice.
Man. Or even especially, what's that like supernatural Batman police thing that we're getting soon?
Supernatural Batman police thing.
Isn't there like a Gotham by Midnight?
Yeah,
Yeah, there
Gotham
we go.
by Midnight.
That'd
I think it's the Spectre.
That'd be a perfect place for him
Actually,
to
I
show
think it's
up.
going to end
Just
up
saying.
Spectre and Batwing. I think it's being spun out of
Okay.
Batman Eternal. Because I know Spectre is one of the headliners, and it would make sense if they used Batman Eternal to backdoor pilot it
Yeah.
into, hey, check this out.
Yeah.
So moving on.
All right, so moving on to Batwoman.
To our Bat half of the show.
Okay, so Batwoman, who's a vampire now,
Is she a vampire now?
maybe?
I don't think well, yeah, I guess they didn't really kind of clean that up yet.
Yeah, so she's in space. She's an astronaut with astronaut Clayface, astronaut Ragman, astronaut Etrigan the Demon, and astronaut what's her sister's name?
Beth.
It's Beth, but she's got like
she goes
a code
by
name.
Alice.
Okay, she goes by like Black Alice.
No, just Alice.
Just Alice. Okay.
Black Alice is someone else.
Oh, okay. All right then. So they're all in space and they're fighting Morgan Le Fay and her
Over a satellite.
and her space demons over a satellite.
Yep.
Yeah. That's the thing that happened. And like Etrigan gets turned into a skeleton and his bones are crushed and Ragman traps a bunch of souls of demons in his rags and he can't quite control it. And they've got to go back into Earth's atmosphere and Clayface kind of pulls the Groot gambit there.
You wrap them up.
Wrap them up.
They double wrapped because
They did double wrap, yeah,
it was Ragman's.
Yeah, Ragman's.
You got to double wrap that entry into the planet.
Yep, so they go crashing back to the planet, and literally the next issue thing says, "What the hell did you just read?" And that's kind of what I'm sure everyone who picked this up was thinking.
I think Brian just made this up. That sounds like the other story you were telling. You just picked different characters.
Yeah, I added
They
in some
felt-
Guardians of the Galaxy stuff. It totally sounds like a thing Brian would make up.
Put demons, or they fought demons.
And there
out
was a
in
vampire and a
space
bunch of
and-
magic stuff.
The guy from Demon Knights was there. Trust me, he was there.
And there was a Dial H thing just there for no reason, floating by in space. I absolutely adored the fact how aware it was that this is not what anyone was expecting.
Yeah.
Where it's just every other page is just like, this isn't really my MO. I'm not really feeling in my element here. Correct me if I'm wrong. Ragman
A
was
former member of the Shadow Pact.
yes,
The
yes,
pre-Justice League Dark.
who was
Justice League Dark.
a golem created by the Jewish people in World War II? Or it's a title, or originally that's what it was, and it was passed down. The title was.
I think you're thinking of Monolith. I could be wrong.
Is that what it is? Okay.
I think there was a character called Monolith who had his own series by Abnett and Lanning for a while that was in fact a Jewish golem.
Okay.
I know Ragman is Jewish. I know he's like one of the few Jewish superheroes. I'm not quite sure how much golem's going on in there. They could have been calling Clayface a golem for all I know. It's very
Clayface
confusing.
is a golem?
Oh. Maybe he's made of clay.
It
So
burns
what's
us.
his power? Does he have like the power of ShamWow?
He does. He can absorb anything in with his magic cloak.
Yes.
Actually, he does
That
kind of
is.
suck up souls. He has soul-absorbing rags.
ShamWow,
on his-
yeah.
Oh no, is he a Durlin?
Uh-oh.
If we want to dig deep again, not too deep. but-
Is he Vince?
Oh god, not again. Not again. Yeah, I was kind of curious to see how you're going to react to that. After I read it, I sent you over that text like, Batwoman, man. Wow. They are really flying off by the seat of their pants on this one. And aware of it. It
Yeah.
wasn't just we'll try something different. It's,
I'm sure, like, they flat out say after they're like, what the hell is that? Drew to next month as we explain to you what just happened. So, you know, they're kind of like, just calm down, everybody, by the end of
yeah,
it.
just simmer down now. Simmer down now. Speaking of simmering though, you also have Supergirl number 35.
Yeah, so Supergirl,
I'm really curious to see how you react to the art I loved in this one too.
It was very expressive. So Supergirl, so she goes to meet her. So she saved the parents of her new wheelchair-bound boyfriend, brought them back to their house, and Red Hood has shown up and has killed their dog, I guess. And he's like, "Hey, Supergirl, let's go have an adventure or something. Also, you've got the hots for me now, so let's go do this thing."
I'm gonna jump on my motorcycle right away now.
Yeah, so they go. I don't even remember. Did they fight something? They fight something, right?
No,
They fight some alien things.
no, he didn't kill the dog to begin with. He locked it.
Yes,
in the laundry
I was
room.
going to reveal that he didn't at the end.
Okay, fair
Thank you for
enough.
stepping over me,
My
Sean, as per
apologies.
usual. But
My apologies.
I'm going for effect. I'm a storyteller. All right, I'm a master craftsman at half-ass podcasting.
No, they end up crashing through the window because she attacks him rightfully.
Yes, she immediately attacks him.
Because the guy who's known for stabbing people with serrated knives is just standing there with her wheelchair-bound boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then they end up having the whole fight against...
They have a fight. Then they fight some like alien gangsters or something.
Yeah.
And the whole time we've got this wonderful like Once Upon a Time style narration where everyone says and does everything that they're thinking and explains it for you in really broad, bold strokes. Just so you have you're leaving nothing to the imagination. You are absolutely aware of everyone's motivations because they're
Yep.
saying it as they're doing it.
But to be fair, this is a cross-pollination. This is getting people that like Supergirl introduced to, not Jimmy Dean, James Dean. James Dean style Red Hood. If it was Jimmy Dean
Red Hood-
style, it'd be
Red
much
Hood is
different.
actually Abe Froman, the sausage king of Chicago.
But that's his little spot now. That's his niche that he's filling. is
Yeah,
he's
she's
the
like,
James
oh my
Dean
gosh,
motorcycle
why do
guy.
I always fall for the bad boys?
Yeah,
Oh my goodness, I've
he's
got a
like,
crush on
yeah.
Jason Todd. And it's just like,
You can wait in line with Batgirl,
Lady,
Supergirl.
vroom, vroom, vroom. Off I go. And she's like, well, I guess I'll take my sloppy seconds of wheelchair guy.
Poor
And so she goes back. She's like, yeah, I'll give you a kiss, wheelchair guy. Oh, and also your dog's not dead. And I see what I was going to do, throw that thing in there. And I fixed your window. Hooray!
But who's creepily watching through the window with binoculars? But Red Hood, who's like, that a girl, Supergirl.
Yeah.
That a girl.
Make out with that guy in the wheelchair.
Creepy. We all just found out a fetish from Red Hood.
No, it was a matter that
We all know what Red Hood likes.
It was a matter that she made the smart decision of not going with his bad boy ways because she's made so many bad relationship decisions since showing up on Earth and is actually going with a nice guy for once.
Yes.
But it was kind of a creepy scene with him just staring through the window with binoculars. Yes, good girl, Supergirl. Did you like Red Hood in this?
I read it so fast, Sean.
Okay,
I really
fair
can't
enough.
get form an actual
I'm
thing.
still trying to get you to get this whole Red Hood and the Outlaws thing on your radar.
No,
It's been 3 years now. I've been trying to push it.
I'm like an Arsenal, having some issues with everyone else.
Okay, well, I might have some good news for you.
Okay.
I might have some really good news for you. Real quick, thumbs up, thumbs down for Supergirl.
In the middle.
In the middle? Okay, fair enough.
I want to go back to my fun characters that I was enjoying like 6 months ago in Supergirl.
Fair enough. Red Hood and the Outlaws number 35 is what we're going to wrap up the show with because Jason Todd is everywhere. Everywhere. It was a great week for me, to be honest. Roy and Jason are trying to figure out what they're going to do with the dead body of the slave trader who murdered himself after they saved him from the wrath of Starfire.
Throw it in the sun.
Well, that's kind of what they're trying to figure out. They're like, it's going to be dawn soon. The alarm clocks are going to go off and his family are going to come out here and see his body splattered all over the front yard. Does anyone have like a rug arrow? Do you have something that we can just put him under?
Cleanup kit.
And it turns out Roy Harper has a evidence removal arrow that he tunes to a DNA strand and shoots it at the area and it eliminates anything with that DNA in the area. Just whoosh, eliminates it. Jason's like, why have you not let off with this arrow with everything we have ever fought?
Good thing none of their family was standing right there.
Yeah, I'm sure the giant flash of light didn't wake them up.
Yeah.
But they return home to find Starfire half, drowned, just laying on the beach, and they think, oh my god, she's been attacked by something. She was totally distraught and really angry with us because we told her she wasn't allowed to murder this slave trader that had been responsible for the deaths of so many people that she knew. And they run up and they're like, oh, Starfire, are you okay? And all of a sudden her eyes snap open because, Brian, do you remember what she was doing at the end of last issue to cope with the pain?
Oh yeah, she was doing drugs, wasn't she?
Yep, she started doing drugs and she opens up her eyes. She's like, hey guys, how's it going? Hugs, everybody, hugs. And they're like, oh, thank God, we thought you were in trouble.
I really want to listen to Darude Sandstorm. Man. I get some lights to put in my hair.
I'm blue, bobble dee, bobble da.
No, Iron Man took that. I'm just going to enjoy the Sandstorm. Man.
So anyway.
What else is in Dance Dance Revolution?
She's
Got
way
the
too
bomb.
happy, way too happy, way too huggy, and they kind of write it off that she just is dealing. It was a high stress situation, and she's just trying to deal with it. And
I
goes
thought she
flying
was
off.
literally dealing. I was
No,
like,
not
whoa,
dealing.
that turned really fast.
Clearly she's dealing drugs. Everything's fine. But they go, okay. Everything kind of returns to normal. Roy's trying to take care of her because she's starting to act really weird and shivering all the time, so he's bringing her hot soup and stuff. And then he's starting to get a feel that something's off. But Jason Todd is still really, really ticked off about that terrorist attack on Washington, D.C. a couple issues ago. Remember with that really weird villain that was had memory issues and was talking just gobbledygook, yelling at them about how he was their worst nightmare, but not the worst bad guy, but he's actually a really good bad guy. He didn't mean it like he's a bad guy. Whatever. He was really dorky weird.
No, he was weird, but the human intergalactic slave trader from Starfire's past, no one batted an eye at that.
No, not at all. That was A-okay. Actually, to clear up some other plot threads, Man-Bat calls them up on his Man-Bat chat 3D hologram thing that he has.
Man-Bat chat?
Man-Bat chat.
Is it actually called that?
No, that's what I call it, though.
Man, want me to read this book?
It's good.
Just start lying to me.
Okay, yeah, they call it Man-Bat chat. It
All
says
right.
TM next to it.
Mm-hmm.
They trademarked it. They're going to make it a new applet for your iPhone.
There you go.
It's going to be great. It's just every time you try to chat with somebody, it goes, scree! Anyway, he calls them up and goes, hey, we found evidence that clears Starfire. We're no longer after her. And Red Hood's like, that sounded kind of mysterious. And Man-Bat's like, good. That's what it was supposed to be. And backs away as this camera image fades away. It's this weird little cameo of Man-Bat as he's just like, I'm creepy, and backs out of the sight. Red Hood does track down where this guy is in Louisiana and leads the team off to attack. Starfire all of a sudden just impulsively goes, I'm tired of sneaking through the swamp, and flies off ahead. They go chasing after her, where she has apparently unearthed this den of roided up supervillain troopers that are in this shed out in the middle of the swamp. But she panics for some odd reason and flies away. Roy goes chasing after her, leaving just Jason Todd against this army of thugs that are all jacked up on something. And as he's fighting them, he finds they have some sort of device on their arm and pulls it off. And guess what it is, Brian?
I have no idea.
It's a venom pump.
Okay.
And he goes, hey, if I'm going to fight this army of people, I'm going to need an edge too, and clamps on the venom pump to his arm. Did you notice a lot of little weird things in your Supergirl issue? Where she kept commenting about how strong he was. And
Yes,
maybe he
I did
shouldn't
notice
be
that,
doing
yeah.
Things. Ta-da!
Man, Arsenal's gonna be really ticked off at these guys, isn't he?
That's what I'm going to get to here in a second. So, Roy actually catches up with Starfire. She panics. She's all like, dude, I am tripping balls right now. I have taken so much drugs. I have made a horrible
Taking all of the drugs.
I have made a bad call. I thought this was going to be a good trip.
I took the drugs. I smoked them like a cigarette. I just don't know.
And she's like, I need you to back off because I'm losing control here. And she goes tearing off to fly off into space. But as she does so, the blowback from her takeoff is all this fire that catches Roy in the blowback. And this whole thing is interspersed with scenes of
Does he get like a contact high?
What's that?
Does he get like a contact high?
No, this whole
Okay.
thing is interspersed with scenes of Jason Todd sitting in the hospital where Roy Harper is covered in third-degree burns and may not survive as he is wasting away in the hospital from Starfire blasting away in front of him while he was standing too close because he was trying to hug it out. Hug life, not fuck life. Yes. And he has paid the ultimate price.
It could have been worse. It could have been the ending to Requiem of a Dream.
Ugh, no, I don't even want to think about that movie ever again. But Ollie Queen shows up, and he wants to talk it out with her. I just feel bad because
Starfire failed the city.
I think so. She's
Just
pushing
jumps away.
drugs in Seattle or in Star City.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah,
Star
I saw that.
City.
Yeah.
All coming together. You drop off the ling, no more crime. No more crime. But I do feel bad for Roy because what is the biggest thing that Roy is known for?
He was a drug addict once.
And it wasn't even just like he smoked some pot on occasion. He was a hardcore flinging dead cats all over the place, way out there drug addict. He is now on a team with 2 drug addicts and he is the straight and narrow guy. He is the sober guy on the team.
He could be like that guy in the commercial. I used to be a drug addict. Now I'm not.
I have not seen that commercial. Have I seen that commercial?
You have totally seen that commercial.
I do not remember this commercial. Because now I don't want to do drugs because that guy isn't, and I feel better for him.
Okay.
I do. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of,
It sounds
Really?
like it.
not the doing
Guy
drugs,
gets
the comic.
Scorched to death.
Okay, well
She's
that
tripping
part
balls.
isn't very fun, but the interactions between the characters, as I said, I love that whenever Roy and Jason are in a predicament, it all works. It all works so well. It is not even funny because
I do like the fact that instead of just like they actually dealt with we've got a dead body here.
Yeah.
Huh. What do we have to do with this? Kick. Huh.
I just love the fact
group
do we
of-
have
that-
a rug? Can we just do something with
Yeah.
this?
When they are just standing around like a group of idiots not sure what to do, that does sound like fun. I'm gonna totally go along with you on that.
Yeah, I mean that's
The fact that Man-Bat is now a supporting character
as-
almost entirely for us.
Yes, as the security chief of Shade, which is so fitting, it's not even funny. If Shade moves to what's the name of the island? Oolong Island.
Yes.
I'll be
Oh.
I'll be done. I'll be good. As a matter of fact, if they just have Shade and the Oolong Islanders, I'm buying that book. I will buy 20 copies of that book just to give to other people because you can't fail. You can't fail. I just read the Thanksgiving issue of 52 actually.
Ah, okay.
Where they were carving up the pterodactyl turkey. Weird segments of that book.
You've seen the Cricketron, right?
Yes, I have seen. I finally got your
You finally
Cricketron
understand the
joke
Cricketron going
from
berserk.
a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
There's a lot of jokes that you've referenced out of that book. A lot of jokes.
Good book.
It is a good book. 52 is what we're referencing. But that's it. That's all of our books. We've done it, guys. Go Team Rocket.
I think I'm going to do it like this every week now, Sean.
I don't think I want you to do it every week like this. As a reminder to you guys, and more so this week than ever, don't go by what we have said. Buy these books. You got to support them. There's a lot of stuff that we didn't go over. It's higher level than even more so than usual this week. So if any amount of it intrigued you, check it out because odds are there was more of that or better stuff that we even glossed over in that title. And it's worth giving it a shot off of that alone. And if you don't buy them, they won't make them. And Beth, what happens then? Why does no one pay attention to me after we get past the books? I swear to God, you guys all tune out and you just go, yeah, we're done with our part. I'm just going to kick back here.
I always seem to tune out like the exact split second before you ask me a question. I'm like, oh, really? Now you're going to ask me a question? Oh.
I was having this awesome little daydream about me riding a Cricketron.
Yeah.
The correct answer, Beth, is nobody wins.
Oh.
Nobody wins is what I was looking for. Next on the board, Brian, you have control. But no.
If you want to contact us, use internet.
Okay, yeah, you could just jump to that bullet point. Yes, type DCR podcast into the internet. You'll find us. We're all over the place. We have so many hits on Google for the front page. It's basically every form of media that you would want to try to contact us with. Let's say we talk about next week's books.
Sure.
The reason why we could not just lump in this week's books with next, we got 16 books next week. Back to the heavy
I'm
schedule.
going to do it like this again next week.
It's because we're getting all the new number ones that are replacing all the books that were canceled.
Okay.
So next week, it looks like Aquaman is donning the helm of Ocean Master in Aquaman number 35. We get the issue number 1 of Arkham Manor. Where Arkham...
Another Batman book.
Yes.
Yeah, kind of.
There's like 8 new Batman books.
Kind of. I have a feeling this one's going to go the same route as the Gotham Academy one, where it's a set in Gotham, but not dealing with Batman as the main character.
Okay.
I have a feeling that's the direction we're going. Don't quote me on it. I don't know anything because I'm trying to avoid the solicits on it, but it wouldn't make much sense for them to launch another Batman title, especially like that. I don't know. It just seems like it's ripe for introducing new characters.
Yeah.
We'll just go with that. Batman Eternal, as I said, we follow up with Batwing and Spectre once more. Catwoman rocking the naval button business suit,
yes,
and ready to go to town as the crime boss of Gotham City. See, we get some synergy here. Synergy. We've wrapped it up in Gotham or Batman Eternal, and now we're going straight into it with Catwoman. That's actually very well done.
Yeah.
You cannot give them flack for that. Hey, Beth.
What?
If a new book was being launched of any of the ones that have been canceled prior, which one would you want to see?
I can't even remember which ones have been canceled or not.
What if I said ninjas?
No.
What if I said swords and eye patches and hot Australian actors?
I can't even think of it. It's like one of them. It's like Deadshot.
No! Why do you get it wrong every time? It's a 50-50 shot. It's Deathstroke, number 1, starting next week. God, one day, Beth, one day, you pull a Green Lantern's name out of your rear. I have no idea how you remember that, but you cannot get this one character that we have given you so much flack about for years now. Years we've given you flack.
It's not been years.
It's been almost 2 now.
No, it has not.
Yes, it has.
No.
Yes.
I refuse to accept that this has invaded my life for 2 years.
Earth 2 Worlds End number 3 continues with its weekly thing. A somewhat reluctant Power Girl is teaming up with Harley Quinn in Harley Quinn 11. Apparently that's out of continuity, or it's taking place before they got back to Earth 2.
Whatever.
It's Harley Quinn. They can do whatever they want, really. So, we're not covering He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, but Brian, Infinity Man and the Forever People number 4, the
fighting Bat Cow.
Yes, who has stole their
Bat
mother
Cow.
box. Bat Cow has somehow gotten a hold of their mother box, and they are apparently confronting him about it as he derpily looks at them going,
She.
moo?
As she derpily
No, I'm
looks.
sorry, she is just looking at them going, moo? We also get Justice League Dark number 35. I am wroth, and you shall tremble in Red Lanterns number 35 as we continue the Godhead stuff. Secret Origins number 6. I forgot about this title, actually.
Oh, yeah.
We're picking up some Wonder Woman, it looks like. Let me see who else is in this one. While I'm looking that up. Oh, it's Wonder Woman, Deadman. Hey, cool, Deadman. And Sinestro. So, not too bad. I don't mind that at all. We also get Star Spangled War Stories featuring G.I. Zombie number 3. Another title we love. Superman number 35. We continue with Jeff Johns and Ramita Jr., if I'm correct.
Yes.
Doing their little thing. The Flash number 35. We finally hit the present day with the Future Flash to finally get that storyline moving forward. New 52 Futures End number 25. And we might have to take some selfies because the Multiversity, the Just number 1, with all of the heroes being kind of celebrities on magazine covers and stuff, and they're followed like reality stars, or are these the kids of the superheroes?
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure.
I think
it's the kids of the
I've heard
superheroes.
tale that this is the world where all of evil has been vanquished. So what do you do with superheroes once all the evil's gone?
Oh, well, apparently you go on covers and
Yeah,
um,
follow them around
give
like
weight
celebrities.
loss tips
Yeah.
and personal
Dead man-
trainers hate her.
dead man's weight loss tips.
So I'm looking forward to it. I've loved the titles we've gotten so far in it.
How I got down to 7.5 pounds fast.
Yeah. By the atom. But that's it. Those are all the books that are coming out next week, so we should have some fun then. Maybe not too much fun because, as I said at the beginning of the show, tomorrow I get all of my wisdom teeth pulled and I will be angry and not able to smoke.
And I'm going to ask him a whole bunch of questions about the comics and have him answer them while he's doped up and post it as an extra.
Have fun being Mr. Soppy Gobface there, Sean.
So if next episode it is literally just sounds like mummies, yeah, that's our Halloween theme. That's
Yes.
what we meant to do.
Been a very spooky episode.
Gargle, gargle, gargle.
Hey, Sean, review G.I. Zombie.
So I'm just getting in character. These are the sacrifices I make for this show, also I can cover Star Spangled War Stories featuring G.I. Zombie.
Mm-hmm.
That will be canceled probably in a couple of issues.
Stop it. Stop saying that.
I hate saying it. It's just you saw the numbers as well as I did.
Ah, yes.
I want to see the trades sell like hotcakes.
Mm-hmm.
Like does anyone buy hotcakes anymore?
I love hotcakes.
Okay, then I want them to sell like hotcakes so that we get some more of this book. It's so much fun. But that's it for this week. Beth, do you have anything before we go?
No.
Brian, how about you?
I can't think of anything.
Okay, fair enough. So hopefully this will tide you over for a week, and we will talk to you next week.